First John chapter 2 verse 15, he said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. He said, they that love the world, he said, the love of the Father is not in them. He said, what is in the world? The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. A man who is awake is one who controls his feelings. Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 27, he said, I beat my body. I bring my body under subjection. That's a man who is awake. His desires does not control him. But can I shock you? Many Christians are ruled by their desires. That's why, if you like, bring them to 10 impartation service. The devil is waiting for them in the beer parlor. Lay hands on them. Pour a drum of oil. Don't worry. After Sunday, he will meet me here on Monday evening. I'm waiting for him. If you like, lay hands on the person. Carry your jacket. Clothe the person. After 2 weeks, he's going to the brothel to look for the harlot. Because the moment his desire comes, he becomes a slave. And so even though he's looking at his destiny, he can never touch it. Because a slave of desire is a man who is already in the grave, even though he's breathing. Some are controlled by their anger. They use 10 years to build something. They use 1 day to destroy it. And then they come back, they say, I don't know why. Their desires, their emotions, their appetites have mastered them. It's a state of death. Any man whose desires rule is a man who is asleep to reality. Finally, a man who is asleep is a man who is controlled by the oppressive power of the devil. When the devil cannot use things to control you, he shows up himself. And that's where you see people who are demonized. So the devil literally subverts and subjugates their will. Even though they want to, they cannot. The devil is not just using things, he has possessed them. And he makes them a slave. So they can never fulfill destiny. And so when we talk about spiritual slumber, we are talking about spiritual blindness, a state of no discernment. When we talk about spiritual slumber, we are talking about spiritual weakness, a state when a man cannot exercise himself in godliness. When we talk about spiritual slumber, we are talking about a state of demonic oppressions, where a man literally ruled and his will is subjugated by demons. And when we talk about spiritual slumber, we are talking about a state where your appetites have become your God. Your belly have become your God. If you are in these 4 states, you can never fulfill God's plan for your life. And the only answer that God has for you is for you to awake. He said, awake, awake from the dead. He said, and Christ will give you life.